Really high-end headphones? Let's check these out. Dave Taylor here, and I'm checking out these. These are so gorgeous. These are the Beyerdynamic T1 Tesla headphones. Now, in here, turns out that I have the Beyerdynamic T5 Tesla headphones, but we'll get to that. Let me just start with these because they're a lot more similar than they are different. So these feature Tesla drivers, which are larger magnets in the earpieces, which gives you a super responsive sort of sound. And that means that loud, soft, all of that, when you have really quick dramatic changes, these can totally keep up, which is important because you don't want to have it lag, or you don't want to have like that big drop or something like that not quite be reproduced properly. These do amazing stuff. Now, they also did an interesting trick where they have off-axis drivers to give you a little more spatial imaging, and indeed the soundstage on these is pretty remarkable. Frequency response is 5 to 50,000 hertz. I can guarantee I can't hear either of those ends, but it's good to know that these are reproducing the entire range of music, whether you're listening to high-res audio, which they're certified for, or whatever other Tidal, any 256-bit, any of that kind of stuff. If you're listening to a full, rich music, this is absolutely more than capable of reproducing all of it. Sound pressure levels 100 decibels, which is pretty darn high, and total harmonic distortions less than 0.05%. So these are doing a really pretty phenomenal job of reproducing whatever music you're listening to. They are 32 ohm plug-in headphones. Somewhere at the other end of this surprisingly long wire is the plug. Let me see if I can even find it. Here we go. So it's a 3.5 millimeter. There is a headphone adapter, so you can use it as a 1/4 inch too, depending on which one you want and what you're plugging into. You can plug this into your amp. You can plug this into your mixing board. If you're a studio musician or if you're an engineer or something, you can use these in those situations. But with a 32 ohm impedance, that means they also work great with laptops and computers and even phones, which is really terrific. It's super capable. So we get to the differences. Now, there are two differences between the T1s and the T5s. First off, the T1 has a longer cable. This cable, a pretty long cable, this is 3 meters. This is almost 10 feet long. I'm not sure why it needs to be so long, but when you have this plugged in, you can definitely turn around and move around in your office or in your studio, whatever it is, and it's going to work just dandy. Now, the T5s, let me open this up, they look the same because they are extremely similar. So the cable this one comes with, the T5 has a shorter cable, so I need to keep track of which one's which here because they look that close. So this is 1.4 meters, and you'll notice in both situations that the cables each plugs into a different earpiece, and they do that so that there's no wires running over the headband or anything like that. So you have the two connectors here. Now, the good news is that they do look like they're just regular 3.5 millimeter, but obviously it's still a custom cable because you're having a single plug into your audio source and then it's splitting into the two earpieces. So the T5, the perhaps probably more important difference is that the T5 is a closed ear design. So when you put these on, it's more compressing and it's more enclosing and it's going to do a better job of blocking any ambient noise or sound that's near you. These are better in a noisy environment. The T1 is an open ear design. These are better if you are by yourself in your recording studio, if you are working at a home office, if you want to be able to hear the sound around you while you're listening. I will tell you, the open ear is a little more comfortable. I feel like the T1s are a little bit more comfortable for wear, daily wear, for some couple of hours or something while you're enjoying some great music or maybe working on your next studio album, whatever it is. So if you can, the T1s with their open design, a little more comfortable. But, you know, the T5s, same drivers, same basic design. in most environments, these might actually work better because there's always ambient noise. There's always other things going on that distract you. If you're trying to get things just so, or if you really want to tune out the world, this is sort of the analog equivalent of active noise cancellation, right? Having a better acoustic barrier, having it be more insulative is going to give you a more comfortable and a more precise fit, which is going to give you more isolation, which is good. Okay, so T5, T1s, difference in the cable length. Otherwise, they're pretty much the same specs. They both feature the cable. These are actually copper cables, so even the cables are pretty expensive with these headphones. And the earpieces, they're slightly different. So the T5 is more of a leather, and it has memory foam in it. This is what they call leatherette, whereas these are more of a soft foam, although the top headpiece is the same for both. And they are replaceable, so if you wear these so much that you end up having them start to look like they need some help, you can get help from Beyerdynamic, which is pretty nice. Otherwise, aluminum components, this is like a ridiculously good build quality, you know, and it comes with this monster case. But if you have headphones at this level and you're going to transport them, you're going to want to transport them in something that's going to keep them safe and sound. So not a big fan of these because of their size, but if I was going on the road with something like these, given the price point and everything, I think I'd use this case just to make sure they stayed safe. So what I did to test these is I both listened to them plugged straight into different audio sources, like my little Dell 2-in-1, and I said, they sound really, really phenomenal when I just plug them in, but what if I use an amp? So I have an IFI, this is their HIP DAC, so it's a digital analog converter, and it essentially acts as a headphone amplifier, and it plugs into the USB on a computer or on an audio source device instead of plugging into the 3.5 millimeter. So what this means is that this bypasses the teeny tiny little DAC chip on your computer or your phone. And obviously you're going to need a special kind of phone to have this work with USB-C, but then this much bigger, much more sophisticated device actually then serves that same purpose of amplifying the music. And I actually reviewed this separately here on my YouTube channel, so here's a link if you want to go check that out. This is such a cool little device, and it's so worth its modest price tag, relatively modest price tag. So what happened was I plugged this into the computer, and then I plugged the headphones somewhere in the headphone jack. Where the heck is it? Here it is. Then I plugged that into the DAC, and holy cow, not only anything else, these are so efficient that I literally could only have it at volume level 1 out of 10, because any louder, and it was too loud for my ears. And that's really interesting because so many of the headphones and earbuds and stuff that I try out are so soft that I have to crank the volume to like 80 or 90% to just get a pleasant listening level. These are way not that. That shows how efficient and responsive they are. That if I put this at 5, I would not even be able to put it near my ears without having like a spontaneous headache. They're that loud, they're that efficient, which is phenomenal. Now, all of that is wonderful. What about the sound? And what can I say? These are expensive, high-end audiophile headphones that sound fantastic. They really sound beautiful. There's a huge sound stage. There's a precision. That responsiveness means that you can listen to music and you get all the drama of the music when it's a really soft portion and then it becomes really loud, or the background instruments swell to a crescendo. I was listening to Ella Fitzgerald do the Cole Porter songbook, and oh, Ella, so nice. Such a sweet voice. The whole thing just sounded so amazing. So massive fan of these. I already have other Beyerdynamic Tesla headphones, and these are just the next level up. This is their 3rd generation Tesla headphones, and they're really, really, can't say enough nice things about them. Now, they are expensive, so I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, if you're thinking, well, I could buy like Apple AirPods or I could buy these Beyerdynamic headphones, no, that's not actually the same price point. So we'll get to the price in a second, but I just, you know, there's really not much else I can tell you about these. They have a wonderful feel, they're comfortable, they're a little tight on my head, but that wears out or sort of goes away after some time of wearing them. If you really are finding them really tight, you can always like prop them open for a night or something, and then that'll help loosen this band just a little bit. I found already now, having just listened to them for maybe a dozen hours or so, they're more comfortable than they were when I first put them on. And I think that's how they're designed. So, you know, the comfort, the build quality, the sound. I wish you could just put these on and enjoy them right now. You would understand what I'm talking about. If you're used to like $50 headphones or the speaker built into your tablet or something, oh man, have you been missing out. It's really all I can say. So let's talk about the price. But before we get to the price, I'm going to ask if you could subscribe to my channel. Really appreciate when you do that. So just a click or a tap on that little red subscribe button, really helpful. Okay, great. Now these are the Beyerdynamic T1 open ear headphones featuring the amazing Tesla drivers, and they are $999 at beyerdynamic.com. These are the T5, also wired. I don't have the wire plugged in right now. Do not be confused. These are not Bluetooth. They are not wireless. These are the T5 closed ear, and they are also $999 at beyerdynamic.com. Whether you choose open ear because you want to be able to hear some of the ambient noise around you, or closed ear because you want to be more sound isolated, either way you're going to get the same beautiful drivers and the same lovely audio reproduction. So nice. In fact, so nice that I'm going back to my music, which means I'll have to catch you in my next video.